Shaun, we got some Tulane news and football in the news, and running back. I don't know if it's Maki or Maki.
Makai Hughes, come on, bro.
That's not how you spell Makai, but all right. Makai Hughes is top 10 in rushing yards and running backs returning. But how many games will Tulane win with Willie Fritz gone to Houston? I know Tulane is a fun environment, smaller stadium. I know you probably know this, but I got to go to the Benson's house, the owner of the Saints. He lives right behind the stadium, right behind Tulane Stadium. So Willie took us over there one night, and we got to hang out at their big ass house right behind the stadium there. But it's a smaller, like intimate stadium. Obviously, was that the same stadium you played in, or they upgraded it?
No, we played where the Saints play. It was
okay, that's right.
back
Okay.
then.
Now they have their own on campus.
Yeah, now I think it's something else.
Now it's on campus, right there. Oh.
They built that, I want to say, maybe 10 years ago.
Okay, so yeah. So about as long as Willie been there. Yeah, they came right after Willie, right before Willie got there, I think. So, where you at with them losing Willie and what they've done with the hire and what they've done? Where you at with them? In a pretty damn good group of it's the best group of 5 conference in football. There's no doubt about it. And now some of those guys left, obviously, and went to a Power 5 conference. But Tulane's still in the elite of the elite in group of 5. Where you at with Willie's departure?
I thought Fritz did a great job. Hat tip to Tulane for showing patience with Willie Fritz. A lot of people don't know this. Like, it might have been Fritz's like 4th or 5th year at Tulane 3 years ago, and I think they went like 2 and something. And most ADs would have fired Fritz, but they showed patience. Then they came back and beat USC in the Cotton Bowl the year after and won the conference tournament. Then last year they were in the conference title game. So, of course, Fritz is at Houston now. John Summerall's a new head coach. So I'm very, balanced when I talk about my squad publicly because, of course, internally I want to go undefeated with every game. But I don't want to put unfair expectations on Coach Summerall. I mean, a lot of talent has left that campus since that was there before he got there. Tyjae Spears, Quan Jackson, the quarterback. So I mean, it's a lot of players he got to replace. Now he's been doing a good job, but that schedule's not easy. South Florida will be much better. Memphis is always good. Non-cons with Kansas State and Oklahoma. So to me, if we're a bowl team in Summerall's first year, I think that's a good season. Anything above that is just icing on the cake. I try and be fair. I'm not going to put Fritz's accomplishments on Summerall's expectation list. You know what I mean?
Hey, Shaun, dive into that same topic and talk about the current landscape, how hard it is to replace a coach, even if you were on the staff, even if you, with the new way the thing is orchestrated and managed, when cats could enter the portal in 30, 40 groves of cats can just enter the portal because the head coach left, which you're seeing most schools do. How hard is that to take over a school? Because Willie's dealing with the same thing taking over Houston. Those guys left Houston too just because the head coach left because they think greener pastures are everywhere. So they left Houston. Willie has to go in there and rebuild Houston now. He's going to have a couple-year hiatus, in my opinion, to rebuild Houston. This guy Summerall is going to go in there and have a very, very, he's going to hit some hiccups, right? He's going to hit some bumps in the road. How hard is it now in this landscape compared to what it used to be? At least the culture would stay at certain places when you got a new coach. Now everybody's gutted. You're gutting a whole new place again and having to revitalize your culture in the community with the boosters, the donors, all your alumni. I don't know, Summerall reaching out to you and all the alum and saying, hey, that's a whole thing in itself. Other than he ain't even coached a game yet. So how hard is it now in this current landscape, do you think, versus what it used to be?
Well, I truly believe the number one coach killer in America is unrealistic expectations. Because there have been situations where overnight programs have changed from shit to sugar, it's kind of become the expectation, and that's just not how football works. We went undefeated my last year at Tulane. My first 2 years, we were 2-9, 2-9. Then the third year, we made a big jump to 7-4. Then that fourth year, when we had, the right incoming talent and the right group of upperclassmen, we went undefeated. It all kind of was a process that we had to battle through. And I think a lot of times ADs and presidents lose sight of that fact. So to me, that as long as the expectations are realistic, a coach got a chance. But that's why, and any Tulane fan that's watching this, that's why I temper my responses when people ask me about Coach Summerall. I don't want to put unrealistic expectations on him because Willie Fritz had a hell of a group of juniors and seniors.
And Tulane is not a
quarterback. Ty J. Spears was going to start for the Titans. At running back, Jaquez Evans just got drafted. I mean, he had a bunch of defensive guys that went to the NFL. And the big thing with Summerall is offensive linemen. I mean, he's struggling, trying to find 5 legit offensive linemen. His best guy towards ACL in the spring.
Shaun, Willie, I'd be in many rooms in the office there with Willie, and getting players in was a absolute headache. Like, he hated it. It was like, dude, they want me to win, but then you give me this high-ass GPA requirement. You give me these high-ass, expectations on getting a kid in. It's hard to recruit JUCO at Tulane. Jonathan Banks was my kid out of Indy who he took, and was a 2-year starter there before they brought the lefty in that replaced him. It's hard to get kids in. I had to do a lot to get JB in there, and luckily JB was at K-State first, or it would have even been harder for just a straight high school to JUCO kid getting him to Tulane. So Tulane's it's very, very hard to get in.
The hard thing about schools like Tulane is they don't accept a lot of credits when kids are trying to transfer. They don't have like physical education majors.
Nope.
Like they don't have like, some of those lower majors where you could kind of hide a kid, come from somewhere. But it looks like they might have relaxed it a little bit. Hell, every day I look up, they got a transfer coming from somewhere. Hell, we took a kid from Louisiana Monroe. And no offense to Louisiana Monroe, but I know academically, man, look, unless you're in agriculture up there, ain't a whole lot going on.
But I think it was a little easier. I think you can take a D1 to D1 kid way easier than you could take a JUCO kid to Tulane. So
yeah, shout out to Coach Summerall though. I'll be there supporting him.